Howdy, all you delicious people! I'm here today to review Jailbait, a prison film, because it has jail even in the title. It's not to be a clickbait title, but this movie doesn't have much of story. It really just has much more of visuals, skin in the game, as I'm to go on and just openly say when there is to be a certain movie that you're obviously to go into it for a specific reason. I have to go on and say, firstly, that I feel that Locked Up is a better movie than this, but people will probably debate me on that. I feel that also immediately when watching through this movie, because I've seen it multiple times, I feel that I should probably go on and recommend other things that are just prison related that I really did enjoy. For those of you that are actually interested in something other than just a skin movie. Orange is the New Black. I had gone on and watched the whole bit of that show, the whole series of that show, and really enjoyed it. But also, you could probably get some skin from that movie, also, or show. I mean, uh, I really am to go on and I think my favorite prison film is Jean Claude's In Hell movie, and then a close second will probably be Death Race. Uh, Yeah, so what is Jailbait about? Because it's to be a movie more than just girl on girl scenes, and I can probably also recommend people those kind of movies, anyways. Below Her Mouth is actually a really entertaining film that doesn't have much of a story, but there's to be a tub scene that just sticks out to me really, really well. Excuse me. And recently, also, I'm sure that there is probably at some point going to be some future projects that I'm probably going to review. Or there are certain other movies that I can go on and just recommend for people who are just kind of in general looking for skin titles. 'Cause I'm sure that there are those out there. Uh, Berlin Syndrome is probably a movie to probably check out at some point. Or maybe uh, Vicious Kind. There's some in there. But then also, I'm going to in the future go on and review the Elijah Wood remake movie Maniac, because it's done through a POV, and I think that that movie is just kind of very unique and different in a lot of ways. So I just wanted to just weirdly check that movie out because I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never fully seen the movie. So I just wanted to finally just check that movie out because I just thought it was weird, weird and creepy, and then also just unique. So now let me go on and actually get to what is this movie about. So we have Anna, who is to be this cello player, and it seems when she is to be at home, this father is to try and go on and take advantage of her, which leads her into prison via a accidental happening, let's just say, which is to lead to this stepfather's death. So Anna ends up getting forced into prison. And so when forced into prison, even her roommate, Jeannie, is seemingly being enamored with Anna. So much so that when she first sees Anna, she wants to go and do a guitar solo. And I'm not talking about with an instrument. She used to really just be tickling the ivories, let's just say. And so but then we also have Anna who goes on and meets with characters like Cody, that is to also just be infatuated with Anna, so much so that they just need to just unthrall together. And then also we have the warden, Frank, that is to try and manipulate his way into of course, women's pants. And so, with that said, eventually there's to be just a bunch of things going on with that. And so, after going on and having this girl go and have fights with inmates and try to get into this gang and then ultimately get out of this gang and then just be involved in drugs and then try to possibly get out of prison. Like all these things end up just kind of playing out in this movie. And so yeah, so with that said, like this movie, it's really just kind of just like you're really here for like a certain reason, and so it's very hard to actually grade this film because I can't go on and obviously say that it's like it's a fine movie. Man, I have had to say so many like times that everything is just a fine movie. But this one, like, I appreciate the effort that this movie tries to go on and do. But really, it's just like you're not here for the story. Like, you're just here to just be like oogling these women and because yeah, you just need to. Uh, but so with that said, yeah, like this movie is available on Tubi rationally. If it's not, there could be a number of apps that I've used and a number of other reviews that I can go and recommend for you to see a number of movies. Uh, Also, go on and check out movies if you're interested in this one. Also, check out movies like Blow Her Mouth, which is be kind of fairly similar. There is a whole tub scene that is to be very interesting in that film. Well, it was interesting to me. And check out Orange is the New Black. Check it out. Because without a doubt, you'd probably be really interested by that movie or that show. I mean, um, but other than that, I think it's about that time to just roll out the spoilers and kind of wrap this video up as much as I can. I'm going to go on and say that I feel that this video, when we actually get into spoilers, is going to be difficult to like remember it all. Um, so I'm going to try to do my best effort to just talk through my memory of this film. Even though I've seen it more than once, I've seen it multiple times. But really, like really there's probably a real reason where like throughout this film just my mind just tended to wander because I'm just like I really don't want to focus so much so on the visuals of this movie, which of course is to be the key thing of this film. um because uh I because there's no real story here. um it's very basic. But anyways, so with that said, let's just go into full on spoilers about this one. It is to, of course, be spoiler time. Spoiler time. It's about that time to spoil this movie. I fortunately had already ahead of time gone into getting into the phone and everything like that, so there's not a whole uh, gap of transition. So, with that said, let's go into this film. So, the very beginning of it is Anna is playing the cello and her drunken stepfather is to come in and is to say how like his daughter and the mother is to be ungrateful for what all he does for them. And here's where he kind of pushes Anna's cello aside to be like, hey, like let's get to going, like uh let's unwrap this up here, if you know what I mean. So that then has this guy get on top of Anna to then have Anna push this guy away as he's to go on and seem to get more and more aggressive. And as she goes on and pushes him away, the stepfather ends up stumbling upon this object and he ends up getting it lodged in his neck and he falls over and he dies. So That then leads Anna into a prison sentence of 4 to 9 years. So she ends up getting into a manslaughter charge just because uh, we would go on to have like Anna's mother isn't going on and covering for Anna and trying to help her. Oh, no. Like she takes the side of the the husband. It's like, oh no, like this guy was never this way. Like if anything, I don't know why Anna's claiming at all that this guy had gone on and done any of these things. So as well as also they're just trying to like stack everything against Anna. So Anna goes to prison, and so she ends up going uh, off of this bus. They get out of the bus, and all these other prisoners are catcalling and whatever. So Anna makes her way into this prison and then has to disrobe so that way she can cough and hope that nothing comes out of her butt. So they then sick the hose on him and then give him a batch of clothing. They end up clothing themselves. The warden ends up coming in and kind of saying who he is and just kind of telling everybody like what they should be expecting here. So we have Anna that makes her way to uh, this kind of just like outside fenced uh, little batch of uh, a kind of playground ish like thing for these prisoners. It's very weird to say playground because that doesn't quite meet really uh, what it should meet, but still. So a girl named Cody is to introduce herself and is to have Anna just be like, well, hey, like, it seems that since you're on your own, like, how about you go on, you join my gang? And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And so, like, oh, you don't want to join the gang? So, yeah, we get that kind of going in this film to where, like, if Anna doesn't join, she'll be forced to just because they won't leave her alone. So, Anna then goes on to meet up with Harumi, who is Jeannie. Uh, so Anna ends up turning to Jeannie as like Jeannie is to not be the person who really cares that she's even there or says, "Oh hey hi yeah," like nothing. Like she is basically looking at Anna as just a corpse. You're just dead to me. I don't care. So Anna ends up looking at Jeannie. It's like, well, hey, what's your name? And she's like, well, Jeannie. And she's like, well, like, man, you really are a very talkative character, Jeannie. So Anna goes on and has a little bit of a lunch. And here's where Cody's group again is to be sitting next to her. And Cody's like, hey, I'm not playing. Like, hey, if you want to join this group, like maybe you didn't hear me before, but maybe I'll give you a second chance here. So Anna again ends up refusing, and like we throughout this film have Anna who's to either like get tripped up with her meal, or somebody takes her tray and then chucks it, or somebody like pushes her face into the tray. That's the running gag, I guess, of this movie. But after that, Anna then is to be grabbed by Cody's gang, and then they beat the crap out of her. And so Anna goes to the nurse's office, and the guard is to go on and look at Anna. I'm like, well, like, can you tell me who had gone on and done this? And Anna's like, no, it was dark. So Jane ends up looking at Anna here and ends up giving her a nice pack. It's like, well, hey, like, just 20 minutes on. Here is the goofy thing. So we have all these wounds and stuff going on Anna's chest. And also, we have, of course, her needing to lift up her shirt to again, just be like, all right, we're seeing something here. So, but weirdly, when we have the Genie and Anna scene, let's just say that like all those wounds like completely go away, and like Jane is mentioning about this uh like bone bruise, and none of that ends up coming into play with old Genie uh and Anna's scenario. So I don't quite get it. So next up we have then Anna, who's to meet up with the warden, Warden Frank. So Warden looks at Anna. It's like, I heard about that incident. Like, man, was that horrible? And also, that incident was in this blind spot of a thing. So, yeah, like, he probably didn't catch it on his cameras, or he probably did catch it anyways. So, he probably just didn't want to divulge any bit of information of that quite yet. So, the Warden looks at uh at Anna here. It's like, man, I really wish that we could have gone on and caught those people that attacked you. But oh well. Like, we're gonna find that I really enjoy this warden, really just because like he used to be just so like at some point he's to be evil, but then he like turns around and just says something really nice. So it's just like, man, what a guy, what a just well rounded a hole of a nice weird guy. That is the I guess very creepy. So the warden starts trying to put the moves on Anna. Is like, well, hey, you know what? Like, uh, maybe I can go on and figure out a way to protect you. Maybe if you help me, Anna, I can help you. As the warden just starts to just touch Anna by the leg uncomfortably, and Anna's like, and so like the warden just kind of walks away. It's like, all right, okay. All right. So Anna makes her way back to her cell, and so Jeannie ends up asking Anna, it's like, well, hey, what happened? And Anna tells Jeannie, it's like, everybody's a perv in this prison. And Jeannie is taking offense by that because not only did Jeannie, as Anna is to wake up, do her little guitar solo there, but like Jeannie is like, well, hey, like you're talking about everybody, and so you're probably talking about me. And so, uh, but Anna doesn't really take back her statement. But then that leads the two of them just start to make out and start to disrobe and go after one another uh savagely. So we have Anna that makes her way to this classroom, and I'm like, what do they need classes for? Okay, like this is kind of weird, but I guess they're probably there to just learn something that they can do in prison. And I think Anna at one point had turned to one of these inmates, and this is gonna be her inmate that is to just be like giving her crap. So, because eventually when they go outside, this girl ends up telling Anna, it's like, what, I can cut you. And so she takes this basketball and just slams her in the back of the head with it. So Anna is just kind of fed up at this point. She's like, what? I want to talk to Cody, and Cody's bodyguard is kind of in between the two of them. So the more and more that the bodyguard starts talking, like Anna's like, I don't think you heard me. Like, I want to talk to Cody, and so she ends up beating the crap out of this bodyguard to then get to Cody, and so Cody's like, all right, okay, so Cody ends up telling Anna how much that she knows about her and starts talking about her backstory. And it's like, well, yeah, like I can see uh, what actually happened to you, like happens to a lot of girls here. And so Cody then goes on to take Anna to her room and tells her, it's like, well, hey, like, you know that girl that gave you crap before? Go ahead and beat her up, and that'll initiate you into this gang. So we then have Anna that finds this girl and starts beating the crap out of her, and that ends up forcing her into solitaire. Weirdly, in solitaire, they end up having this girl take off all of her clothes. It didn't make any sense to me, but then also when I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, like, if you start to go crazy in solitaire, maybe they're kind of not having them wear any clothes so that way they don't choke themselves or hang themselves or whatever. Maybe that's all what it really is. So after Anna gets out of solitaire, she again meets up with the warden. So the warden ends up kind of telling Anna about, like, well, hey, like, you're only in there for like a day. Like, what would, like, 2 whole weeks, like, what would that feel like? And so it's like, aha, like he's trying to do some underhanded things to just kind of force Anna into doing what he wants. So, and then also we have the warden that is to find out that Anna is with the lowriders, the Cody group, and he's like, well, you know, how I know that is because I have so many cameras around here. So we have Anna that goes on and is now forced into giving a BJ to the warden, and then she ends up taking a shower thereafter, and kind of just uh, barfs off to the side. So Anna goes back to Cody's group, the Lowriders, and she ends up getting a tattoo saying who she is upon her arm of being involved in this group. So after that, both Cody and Anna share a pipe hit together. I'm not talking about just your normal. No, it's weed. So we have Anna, and she meets with her mother, and the mother is going on and taking the stepdad side. And so the two of them, the more and more that they start talking, the more that this is just going to lead to an argument between the two of them, to where Anna no longer wants to see her mother, but eventually she'll see her later on. So we consistently, like, we'll go back to uh now Anna facing off against this inmate who I couldn't figure out the name of in IMDb. So this inmate goes and tries to attack Anna, but she has a weapon this time. They're like, oh my god, she has a weapon? And like Anna is forced to fight into fight with her, and that then leaves her going on and meeting with the warden again. So the warden goes on and is talking to Anna here and saying, like, man, you know what, like, it seems like you're gonna be getting a large number of infractions here. We also had at some point the warden mentioned how they have like 214 like prisoners here and all this uh kind of stuff that he's going on babbling on at some points in the bits of dialogue in this movie. And so the warden ends up having this pipe to give to Anna, like, hey, take a hit. Uh, you know, you'll like this stuff. So Anna goes back to Jeannie. I think this time around she didn't have to, like, plaisir the warden this time around. So uh Anna goes back to Jeannie, and there's obviously something wrong. Anna's to be a little bit more like upset or aggressive, and so Jeannie is kind of annoyed by this, and so the two of them start talking, and so like Jeannie's like, well, hey, like don't talk to me when you're high. So the two of them start fighting, and they have like an argument, which I think leads to like a slap or something. And so when all of them start popping out of their cells to just kind of do a check, one of the guards has noticed that Jeannie has this kind of busted lip. Like, well, hey, where'd you get that from? And Jeannie just kind of just figures out a way to just kind of just make up some kind of excuse, uh, like she is to cut herself shaving or something like that. She doesn't use that excuse because that's stupid, but still. So, but the guard takes Anna. It's like, well, okay, let's bring her to the warden again. So the warden ends up going on and talking to Anna here and saying like, you know what, I can put you to a transitional prison where there's much more bigger gals, and if anything, like this is the kiddie prison, this is the kiddie pool, and like I can find prisons that are like that are way worse than this. This is like the Disneyland compared to all these other prisons. So Anna's realizing that she has to give in to the warden, so he ends up going on and telling her to uh, to lean against this chair for him to go on and pop in a rubber. And guess what? Give a good old thrust in. So immediately when Anna makes her way back to Cody, he's like, "Hey, get me high, like get me a pipe." So Cody ends up talking to Anna and saying like, "Hey, like at some point like you're gonna have to start actually paying for these drugs." And so like the two of them, they just start to have this argument, which leads to then Anna leaving. So so Anna's talking with Jeannie, and Jeannie is looking at Anna like, leave me alone. And so Anna's looking at these two cats. They're doing some hardcore drugs called heroin. So Anna's like, oh my god, I'm gonna go over there and just kind of give them some cigarettes. We'll exchange for the drugs. And she ends up taking the drugs. She ends up getting high. So Cody and Anna meet up together, and Cody notices that Anna is starting to get some tracks on her. She's starting to get into drugs. And Cody's like, hey, you're a fucking idiot for doing that. And Cody is to tell Anna, it's like, you know what, I care about you, and you're just doing this. And so like the two of them start arguing, and that leads to then Anna not wanting to be a part of this gang anymore, and so she's out. So Cody ends up telling Anna, it's like, well, yeah, you know, like if you're out, then I'm not going to protect you anymore. So immediately after that, as Anna is in the shower, we then have inmate character that comes in and is to take this sock with these batteries and start flinging it at Anna and kind of taking her out here. And so Anna makes her way back to Nurse Jane, and and again ends up trying to take care of her here. So, and that just leads Anna right back to drugs. So, to the point where now Anna is just seeing like these like hallucinations where she's seeing like her past stepfather, just like his face is distorted, and then she's looking at all the other prisoners and their faces are distorted. So here's where we get something bizarre. Anna goes on and makes a tattoo on her arm that just is the word dead. And it's like, okay, that is like I don't quite get what that is to symbolize. To just be like, well, like I guess just like, and plus also the wording is so small, but like yeah, like I guess it's to say that that's where Anna is hoping that she'll just end up becoming is dead. Um, so and then also to be the symbolization, I guess, of just Anna giving up. But anyways, so Anna goes on and continues to do drugs and ends up vomiting in this turlet. And like Jeannie is trying to get Anna to be like, well, hey, like there is this drug counselor, like I used it and I got clean. And Jeannie is telling Anna, it's like, well, hey, like the more you take these drugs, the more that you should probably end up just forced into withdraw, anyways. So the two of them are having this fight out, and so Anna ends up going on and finding this inmate that she loves to just beat up all the time, and they end up having a fight, which leads to having everybody fight. So the warden is to find Anna herself at her solitaire, like, well, hey, like, are you gonna be a good girl, and if we let you go? So Jeannie and Anne are outside, and Jeannie is telling uh Anna, like, don't go over there and go to those people with the drugs, and Anna does anyways. And Cody ends up seeing them, and so she uh she grabs the drugs out of their hands and then is to try to stop Anna from doing this. And Anna and Cody have this kind of just this argument. So but eventually this leads to Anna just losing her effing mind at this point, and then so she takes this sharp object and just putting it to her neck. We also had the scene where Cody was going on and talking to Anna and saying how like that she should not go on and do drugs simply because half of the girls that are doing the drugs are probably sharing the needles and they probably have AIDS and all kinds of things. So, but if anything, back to the whole like sharp neck thing, uh, the warden needs to go on and talk to Anna and just be like, well, hey, uh, like I can make this easier for you, and just again, but there's gonna be a payment probably for that. So Anna ends up taking this sharp object and stabbing into the warden's face, and then they end up tying her down and sending her off to solitaire. So she's gonna end up in solitaire for like a whole month. She ends up getting these trays for her food, and she ends up breaking one of them, and then she ends up cutting her wrist, which leads her into uh, the psych ward part of the prison, or uh, she's on self harm watch. We also have Anna that turns to one of the guards. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure you want to f me. And so the guard is like, stop talking. It's like, you know you know you want me. So uh but Anna goes off to again, she's in solitaire. She ends up cutting her own wrists in solitaire. So she ends up meeting with Dr. Han. And so while she's in the psych ward, we start to see these kind of certain uh, inmates, these patients. and one of them ends up just like getting on a chair, and they just start crapping themselves, and then they go off the rails and just start attacking everybody, and so the guards have to like intervene, and yeah, like it's a whole deal of this crazy person crapping on a chair. So also we had the scene where Jane is kind of looking over Anna, and it's like, well, hey, like I'm gonna, like if I take these cuffs off, like are you gonna be a reasonable person? Excuse me. So Anna comes to find that a patient that's kind of sitting next to her ends up just kind of choking on her own vomit and dies. So Anna goes on and is to go and talk to Jane, and Anna comes to the realization that she finally wants to go on and actually see her mother, even though recently that last conversation didn't go all that well. And also, like, it seems that like there is hope to just be like, well, hey, like, you know what, Anna, you probably could have gone on and had a scholarship. It seems like you had a really promising life ahead of you. You've had good grades and everything. So Anna goes on to meet up with her mother, and the mother is like, you know what, like I should be in here instead of you, and like the more that they talk, the more the mother realizes that she was all wrong, and that uh, that the mother is going to try to figure out how she can go on and talk to the lawyers or the judge to kind of reverse this whole decision, which ends up not happening. But so Jane or comes to find Anna to be like, hey, the warden wants to see you. So here is where the warden is to go on and mention to I think this is where he mentions to Anna about the whole um, parole hearing thing, and then there's a possibility that that's going to happen. So, but that's also to lead to probably more sex and more favors and more whatever. So Anna goes on and is to kind of take her tattoo and is to mark into it to just be like, well, hey, like I don't want to be a part of that gang anymore. And that Anna just wants to be just like Jeannie, and that's where she gives uh, Jeannie a what is the uh, she ends up going down on her. That's what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to figure out. And so Jeannie just kind of goes and does this like little pose thing, and we go on and we transition from that. So Anna is at the lunchroom, and here's where she gets a face full of Trey, and Anna's going on and mopping, and the warden is to just kind of seek her out and tell her about like, well, hey, like I have this cello for you, and you can play it, and so he took this whole time to just restring this thing, and so Anna ends up getting a note from an inmate that says you are dead. Literally, the letter U, the letter R, and then dead. So we have Anna that meets up with Cody, And this time around, it's not all about missing you and kisses and whatever. And did I not even go into the? I may not have even gone into the scene where uh, where Cody and Anna like they go at it, because of course they do, and then the like Cody's guard or Cody's guard, um, Cody's second in command is like, hey, what are you doing? And so Cody's like, well, hey, I can bed whoever I want, but it technically didn't really bed her, just kind of just shoved her onto this desk. So Anna and Cody are meeting here, and like Cody's like, you know what, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna just scar up your face. So now for a good chunk of this movie, we now have Anna who now has to have a bandage over her face, just making her even more attractive, I'm sure. So we uh we again have Anna that goes to the nurse, and the warden's like, well, hey, did Cody do this to you? And Anna says yes. And so the warden ends up touching Anna inappropriately, and like Jane is looking at this like, okay, this is kind of peculiar. So Anna then goes on to meet and talk with Jane, and so Anna divulges to Jane about the whole warden situation, and Jane is like, well, I have a sister that has uh, a husband of a governor, so like if anything, we can talk to him, and we can get this all squared away. And the warden the whole time is watching this whole conversation. It's like, all right, well, like she's gonna be dead because Jane ends up getting beaten up by these prisoners, and that's not enough. So Jane ends up coming into the warden and it's like, well, hey, did I get this? Because like I know what's going on with you, and the warden's like, what? So Jane ends up walking off, and so then the warden is on this phone call. It's like, well, yeah, like let's go ahead and just finish her off. Let's go ahead and just kill her. So Jane is in this locker room, and so someone stabs her in the back and kills her. And so the warden ends up meeting up with Jane, or Jane. It's meeting the warden ends up meeting with Anna, and the warden's like, you know what? I think you probably know who had gone on and possibly have killed Jane. Cause it's probably the obvious. It's probably Cody and her women. So so the reasoning that if I haven't mentioned it at any point of this show, or any point of this movie, the warden is to have gone on and mentioned in the early part of this movie that there is going to be a talent show, and the warden going on and putting together a cello for Anna is for her to go on and play this cello at this talent show. So the very first person that we end up seeing in this talent show is to be this rapper, and so she's going off and rapping, and then uh, the host of this thing ends up saying like, okay, well, the next person up is going to be Anna, and she's going to play this cello, and everyone's like, what? Play a cello? Blah. Like everyone kind of hates Anna at this point, but then she goes on and actually used to play uh, the cello, and everybody's like, "Wow, okay, all right." Like, so this girl has something. So after the whole talent show, the warden ends up telling Anna, "It's like, you know what? I have a parole hearing for you, but you also have to go on and you have to figure out a way to just kind of like if I do this for you, like you gotta so uh so the warden has Anna lay down as he gets on top of her, and we again have this just kind of moment between the two of them. So Jeannie ends up telling Anna that like, well, yeah, like there's a possibility that you could probably get a parole hearing, but I wouldn't really trust the warden to really go on and do anything in your favor, because if you're no longer here, like he doesn't have his claws into you. So la la la. So Anna ends up going on and finding out through this letter that there is a parole hearing happening for her as she gets this letter. So so again, they're thinking that more than likely this is not going to work out in their favor to to get this whole parole done. So what they end up doing is that Anna ends up going to Cody and is to ask her for this phone so that way she can record uh, the warden like having sex with her. So we then have Anna, who is to be just in the thrustings with the warden, and he catches her recording this, and he's like, "Oh my god, you have this cell phone? How could you?" And then he sends her off to the electric chair and kills her. But we come to find that that is all a dream, and uh, so the warden goes on to talk with Anna the following day, and it's like, well, you know what, uh, like if anything, like I will have quite a bit of sway upon your parole hearing. Like, what should my recommendation be for you? And so then Anna is to realize, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go on and give the warden a blowjob, so I can go on and get this parole. So Anna goes on and gives the warden a BJ and records it. It's like, aha, like I have this against him. So we have this parole hearing, and so everybody's to kind of just find out about this girl and ask her questions about like, well, hey, like it seems you had some problems in the past, and Anna's like, well, yeah, I've matured, or yeah, like I've kind of reformed and all these things. So the warden ends up coming in. It's like, well, you know what, like she did play that cello and she did play the cello really well, but I think that she also has a problem with authority, and I don't think that she should leave just yet. I think she should be here for a good long amount of time. So here is then where Anna whips out the phone. It's like, aha, like catching the warden in the act. So the parole hearing ends up seeing uh seeing this phone, and they end up arresting the warden. And the following thing we end up seeing is that the parole hearing ends up seeing Anna again, and they apologize for what had happened in the past, and then they grant her release. So Anna, now in her street clothes, is leaving the prison, and so she goes on and talks to Jeannie and ends up talking to Cody, and Cody's like, "Well, hey, like we're gonna meet outside," and Anna like just says nothing and just continues to walk away, just like, "Hell no, like we're probably never gonna see one another again." So Anna goes on to uh, get outside the prison, and she ends up hugging her mother. And then the next thing we end up seeing after that is that Anna is playing this cello, and that wraps up our story to say that Anna, after the whole prison sentence, I'm sure, like made something of her life, and that's just me wrapping up this film. There was honestly quite a bit of stuff where I'd gone on and kind of forgotten what had happened in this movie, as well as also me not quite knowing exactly when certain scenes were to go on and play out because I was just like, But anyways, with that said, I'm going to get the heck out of here so I can put this video out for today, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll be able to put out Maniac because that'll be my next goal. Hopefully these videos I'm doing some kind of well. It seems that like the videos keep making me realize like okay, the numbers are going up and up. I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm happy that people are watching these videos consistently, and I appreciate the time because I get it that not all these are like the greatest movies ever. Um, and then also currently I realize that I need to get back to certain other projects, but then also I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna take the time to experiment right now to hope that I can find um, certain movies and certain shows that can build the channel up really well, and then I can start coming back to like Power Rangers and whatever. It'll all depend on like if things start to drop, um, and it'll all just depend on like if the channel continues to go well or not, and whatever whatever I need to do just to just kind of like figure out how to I can just keep doing videos every day. So a lot of this is just kind of me honestly just being tired, and also like that's whatever just kind of comes out of my mouth is whatever comes out of my mouth. It feels like I have to go on and give everybody like a day to day just kind of how I feel, really, in all honesty. So with that said, I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.